Good morning. Morning, everyone. Yeah, so we start the session. First, setting correct motivation on the basis of those of you who have refuge precepts, and by refreshing your refuge. um, Having the conviction of Buddha Dharma Sangha present with you now, lively. Then the one summit entire one's life under the inspirations of Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Then dedicate one's life, or one's entire existence, and in particular this very life, this very day, this very session, just like how Guru Buddha would dedicate, which is solely for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness, up to the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. So just like that, in that way, then generate the altruistic motivation. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Then, let me do something. Okay. Better. So we'll recite refuge and Bodhicitta prayer. And after that, salutation to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. And then salutation to lineage gurus. And also feel the presence of all your lineage gurus. Anywhere yourself receiving the blessings of their body, speech, and mind, through infinite radiance of light and nectar, coming towards you, observing into your entire existence like that. Sanje Judan Zoye Junan La Janju Bado Nane Jazoje Daje Jeje Jeme Zonam Dola Benje Zanje Rubara Sanje Judan Zoye Junan La Janju Bado Daje Jeje Jeme Zonam Je Dola Benje Zanje Rubara Jo Zanje Judan Zoye Junan La Janju Bado Dane Jazoje Daji Shushe Jebe Zonamaji Dola Benje Sanje Dubarajo Gangi Duzene Zone Dawa Damji Bambi Jire Tambi Jene Duen Zebang Godam Dela Chase Onyi Ninja Zondo Jube Lama Zeje Seju Kanje Tempe Chana Bemo Tenzin Jazo Sowa Debzo Dajun Jinje Thank you. So today the subject is on emptiness meditation. So as I mentioned in the last session, that I thought to follow the Lama Adisha's lamp on the path, which serve as the root text to all the teachings, whether to do the Lamrim philosophical teachings, instructional teachings, whatever lineage that we have in Tibetan Buddhism, whether through the Nyingma Kagyu Satya Gelu. So all based on Lamb on the Path. And especially on the section or the emptiness teaching, and the Lama Atisha's composition, mainly dedicated for meditational purpose. And so, so the last teaching and this and the coming, the weekend retreat on emptiness, very much for meditation, more than intellectual learning, but more for meditation. So I thought, this next would be more suitable. As for brief introduction related to this subject that I've briefly covered on the last session. So in the Lamb on the Path, the emptiness teaching very much start from verse 41. So it says like this: when the practitioner has gained karma biting, higher perception will also be gained. But without practice of perfection of wisdom, the obscuration will not come to an end. So just before this verse, Atisha discussed about the teaching on karma biting or shamatha. And shamatha, of course, one of the most important the meditation to be developed, or the meditational realizations to be developed in our continuum, in order to actualize, higher path, such as special insight. The special insight is a particular name given to a practice or the path that which is emptiness meditation, that conducted on the basis of karma biting mind, or the shamatha mind, single pointed mind, called the special insight. Just emptiness wisdom is not good enough to to be most powerful antidote, or to be able to eradicate the negations, such as delusional obstacles and the obscurational obstacles. So delusional obstacles are like such as attachment, aversion, which serve as a main obstacle to nirvana, peace, the cessation from samsara. Even though emptiness wisdom is antidote, but won't able to perform the full act of directly, eliminating the negation without utilizing the capabilities of the serviceable mind, or the single-pointed mind, or the karma-biting mind. Similar goes to practitioner when want to overcome the negation to omniscient, which are called the obscuration to omniscient, or obscuration to knowledge. Again, emptiness is antidote, but in order to eradicate without the without the basis of the karma-abiding mind, won't able to eradicate the obscuration of defilement. So, so that particular complete qualified antidote is called special insight. Special in the sense, special which carry the characteristic of combining two important factor, the most powerful wisdom and most powerful method. The most powerful method is the serviceable mind of karma-abiding. Most powerful wisdom is the wisdom of emptiness. These two combining together, it becomes special, and that's called the special insight. So when the practitioner gain karma-abiding, higher perceptions will also be gained. So higher perceptions here referring to like such as clairvoyance. One of the tools to have a the cleverest mind, like such as clairvoyance. There are many levels of clairvoyance. The clairvoyance, clairvoyance that once you know something, you never forget. You never forget. In any circumstance, you never forget. That's also clairvoyance. Then once whatever you have known, that you remember, you remember all the time. That also clairvoyance. So then there are clairvoyance that knowing future times, clairvoyance of knowing past times, past lives, clairvoyance of knowing all the detail of karma, clairvoyance of knowing others' mind, others' thinking, others' karmic capabilities. So there are many levels of clairvoyance. So the main cause to actualize such clever mind is the single-pointed concentration. So the more you develop single-pointed concentration, more you develop karma-abiding, shamatha mind, then you gradually start to develop all these higher perceptions. Yes, higher perception. So, the practitioners, once you gain karma-abiding, many higher perceptions will also gain. But without the practice of perfection of wisdom, the obscuration will not come to end. But then, how many levels of clairvoyance you gain, but then if you have not, actualized the wisdom of emptiness by the karma-abiding mind, then the obscurations will not come to end. Or if you have not obtained the clever mind on the basis of wisdom of emptiness, then obscurations won't come to end. So meaning, after you obtain karma-abiding, then you need to get into using emptiness wisdom as an object of meditation of karma-abiding, meditation of single-pointed mind. For general karma-abiding, single-pointed mind, you can achieve using meditation object of like one single object. It can be lights, can be Buddha's face, can be sounds of the mantra, etc., etc. But in order to actualize the wisdom that which is powerful enough to, eradicate the negation, the most subtle negation, then you need to develop the karma-abiding using the object as the emptiness as an object to develop the karma-abiding. So when you develop the single-pointed concentration, yeah, when you develop the single pointed concentration using the emptiness wisdom, when you achieve uh, the the highest level of karma writing on that basis, then you actualize the special insight. So now, so there are two ways, to get to that. One of the way, uh, even before you develop single pointed concentration or karma writing, you use the object of your single pointed training, uh, 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 the emptiness wisdom. The emptiness wisdom of substance as a person or substance as a phenomena or whatever. So you use the emptiness wisdom as to train your karma writing. Then when you achieve the 9 level of karma writing, through that, you simultaneously achieve special insight. The another way is after you develop karma writing using other object of meditation, once you achieve the level 9 of karma writing, then now you again use emptiness wisdom as an object of meditation. And when you re-experience the 9 levels, the level 9, the experience of the karma writing, then there you achieve the special insight. So there's a two way of doing it. So here meaning that most in general, most people, they won't effort to train karma writing using wisdom of emptiness. That is to advance. So most people will use ordinary object. So and there are danger of like settling there as if I achieved clairvoyance, I achieved this the physical and mental completeness of the fluency, and I don't need to progress on the path. There are practitioners who settle like that. So for such practitioner, then they said that is not good enough. So you need to carry on. You need to continue to develop your path until you develop special insight. Then verse 42, thus to eliminate all obscurations, the liberation and omniscience, the practitioner should continually cultivate the perfection of wisdom with a skillful means. So this particular verse, talking the importance of the method aspect of the path, the bodhicitta, the one of the other main factor to be able to succeed eliminating the two obstacles, the delusional obstacles and obscuring obstacles, by the antidote of wisdom of emptiness, the special insight. It has to happen combining the practice with bodhicitta method. Otherwise, the effort won't be, the antidote won't be, effective enough, or you won't able to eliminate the complete negations. It may only able to eliminate delusional obstacles, but won't able to eliminate obscurational obstacles, like such as those practitioners who pursue self-liberation, following from the hero and solitary realizers path. There are three vehicles: hero's vehicle, solitary realizers vehicle, and bodhisattva vehicle. So in order to eliminate all these three obstacles, you need to go through the bodhisattva vehicle. But there are practitioners there whose main target is to actualize self-liberation, and they follow the hero's vehicle and solitary realizers vehicle. For them, without bodhicitta, just emptiness wisdom, just the special insight able to overcome the delusional obstacle, but their ultimate achievement is up to, just a freedom from samsara, but not freedom from the obscuration to omniscience, unable to achieve the state of Buddhahood, So therefore, it's incomplete, you see. So the antidote become complete and most effective when you combine the practice of bodhicitta, and that naturally lead the practitioner into the bodhisattva's path, the bodhisattva's vehicle. So when we talk about bodhisattva's vehicle, so there are two kind of practitioners are emphasized. One is directly from the very beginning, from the very initial, uh, you enter into the Mayanic path or the Bodhisattva path. And there's another kind of practitioner, first enter into the heroes or solitary realizers path. After complete the nirvana, then they again enter into the another path of the Bodhisattva's path. So there are two kind of practitioners are emphasized. So, uh, so whichever lineage you travel, in order to achieve the ultimate liberation, which is a state of full enlightenment, then you have to go through the Bodhisattva's path, because you have to eliminate the obscurations of omniscience. The obscurations of omniscience has the element of bodhicitta. So that's the reason why it's Atisha emphasizing here. Thus eliminate all obscurations to the liberation of omniscience. A practitioner should continuously cultivate the perfection of wisdom with the skillful means. So, so an example. So once you enter into the Bodhisattva's path, on Bodhisattva's path, got the 5 paths. Path of accumulation, path of preparation, path of seeing, path of meditation, path of normal learning. So earlier 4 paths are the path of training. The final part of normal learning is the path in the stage of the Buddhahood. See, so during the path of training, when you enter into the first moment of path of accumulation, main focus during the period of path of accumulation. So there are, in a path of accumulation, there are 3 levels: small, medium, and third level, the higher level. Within the 3 stage, their main focus is in fact accumulating merit using the path of method, bodhicitta. Even though, of course, they do cultivate a wisdom of emptiness, but the main focus is bodhicitta. But the whole motivation for that practitioner is the practitioner why focus to accumulate more merit is later on, when you reach part of preparation and when you reach especially part of seeing, that emptiness wisdom be most powerful in order to eradicate the most subtle negation, the obscuration of omniscience. Because of that, it's kind of the practice of method, practice of bodhicitta is kind of collecting assistance, collecting more conducive condition, in order to the wisdom to be more effective, So that's why this practice has to be combined, and this is one of the examples. So when the practitioner get into the second level of the path of preparation, so path of preparation has four levels, first one is called the heat, then peak, the mountain peak, like the peak, not peak. So then the third one is called patient. And then the fourth one is called the supreme dharma. So so when the practitioner reaches the path of preparation, on the foundation of the great stores of merit which you have just accumulated during the path of merit, then now you start to give more focus on meditation on emptiness. So when the practitioner reach the part of this, let's say the fourth level, the supreme dharma, the the practitioner realize emptiness, but not the direct realization of emptiness. So here, the realization of emptiness is conceptual realization on emptiness. So the conceptually realize the wisdom of emptiness. Now, it still carry dualistic false, because the concept, the concept itself, carry the dualistic influence, So conceptually realizing even lack of inherent existence on the phenomena, it is still carry flaws. So therefore, it's not realizing the direct realization of emptiness. Uh, mm, 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 uh, so in another word, you can say, when we talk about negation, there are two levels of negation: the conceptually actualized negation and innate negation, or conceptual ignorant, conceptually established ignorant. This is the first level of negation, and innate ignorant. You see, so here the conceptually established ignorant is overcome. Therefore, you can claim the practitioner realize emptiness, but it is not direct realization of emptiness. In order to realize a direct realization of emptiness, you also have to eliminate the innate ignorant. So so I think about this two, the two negation, I think we will hope to discuss more further on the retreat, during the retreat. Especially, I think there you have to do serious meditation. Just to mention briefly, uh, you see, on the self, realizing self as a lack of inherent existence is realizing the emptiness, negating conceptually imputed negation only. You see, but you have not realized the direct realization on emptiness on self. In order to realize direct realization of emptiness on self, without the conceptual, without conversation, or without analysis, or without understanding, the inherent kind of nature of existence of self, the moment the mind perceives I or self, you have to perceive it is emptiness. You see, at the moment, the I, whenever we say me, and that me is in fact the innate ignorant. That that I or the me is a synonymous, is equal to inherent existence of I, substantial existence of I, dualistic existence of I, true existence of I. It's all a sameness. You see. So the moment we perceive I, the moment I perceive you, that you is actually the moment, my perception perceiving the innate ignorant. Innate, let's say the I that which is established by the innate ignorant. See, my eye perception looking at you, I'm looking at substantial existent person. When I look at you, even you're moving, even you're looking at me, having conversation, but the way how my perception of the first glance is true existence, not lack of true existence, not the lack of substantial existence. I perceive inherent substantial existence on you. You see, the moment I open my eye towards you, the moment my mind think of you, the moment we hear anything, we think of anything, you see, we see anything, we touch anything, you see, everything we experience everything we perceive as an inherent existent. Even though we don't know what inherent existence is, even we don't know how that you're perceiving it, but you are perceiving as is innately existent, as it inherently existent, as it substantially existent, truly existent. And that is the dualistic mind, dualistic mind, Even though there's no dualistic kind of differentiation that you can able to differentiate in word, you are just seeing the person out there, that alone itself, it becomes false. Because the person in reality do not exist the way how you perceive it, isn't it? When you see me, I do not exist the way how you, see in the first glance, So to break through that, then, able to break that shell and able to see vividly, even in the first glance, that you are empty of inherent existence, then you are able to purify the innate ignorant. Until then, you don't realize the direct realization, on the object, you see. So now, yeah, so this has to think, think quite, taking time, the conceptually establish negation or conceptually establish inherent person and innately establish or the person that which is established by the innate ignorant. These two has to be differentiated. And the later one is much more subtle than the earlier one, you see. And most of the time, if we are not careful, most of the time we are just spending time to eliminate the grosser level of negation, the conceptual, very much we spend time to negate the conceptual ignorance only. We hardly reach to eliminate the innate ignorance, you see. And and that if we remain like that, even we realize emptiness, we will always remain in a path of preparation. We will never reach to path of seeing, you see. So like that. So then now, when you see, so by the well training in the wisdom of emptiness, and until that you're able to, until you're able to realize, even realize the conceptual realization of emptiness by element. Yeah, by eliminating the, it's okay. Yeah. So yeah, by eliminating the conceptually actualized negation and great stores of merit that you have accumulated during the path of accumulation, you will, with the help of this both wisdom and method, able to deliver your progress in the stage of path of seeing, and there you're able to see emptiness directly. And when you reach there, it's called path of seeing, which the concept and the conceptual, the subject, the mind is free from the conceptual influence, or the dualistic influence. So now you see one absolute reality directly, and that is the wisdom realizing emptiness directly. So then from path of seeing onward, throughout the path of meditation, until 10 bhumis. So this negation, the obscuration, the omniscient, very much like labeled into 9 levels, from gross to the subtle. Then, as far as concerned with the path, the training of the path, divide into 2 portions. One is meditation portion, another one is post-meditation portion. So during the post-meditation portion, fully focus on accumulating merit, using the tools of the method aspect of the path, like love, compassion, bodhicitta, or the rest of the 5 parameters from the 6 parameter, like practicing generosity, morality, etc. So that will help to accumulate, huge amount of stores of merit. Whenever you accumulate, great amount of merit, then you set into a deep meditation, observation meditation on emptiness, single pointedly using the shamatha mind, the serviceable mind. So with that tools of special insight, now whatever amount of negation you want to negate, it becomes very solid, very, very effective, and that way, effectively you move on along the 9 level of, 9 stages of the path that you see. So again, when you accomplish the first level of accumulation of merit, then observation meditation on emptiness, then negating the negation, when you achieve the cessation, the first level is complete. So after complete the first level, again, you do the second similar round. Again, go to accumulate merit, during post-session. And again, go into the meditative absorption. Then directly enter to negation. You overcome the negation. Like that, you have to go 9 stages, up to 10 bhumi, you see. So the last moment of the 10 bhumi is a meditative equipoise. Meditative equipoise. So until you achieve part of normal learning, which is the 5th level of path, that meditative equipoise is very much like in the zone, like in the dark room. You on the light at night. There's no darkness in the dark room, isn't it? There's no darkness in that room now because you're on the light. But if you don't continue to stay on the light until the dawn, until the light comes in, darkness will come back, isn't it? At night, isn't it? Similar like that. So you have to carry on steadily that meditative equipoise until the day arrives. Then even you off the light is there. So from that on, the light will be carry on without effortlessly, without needing to stay switch on the light. So that is very much that you arrive in the state of part of normal learning, normal effort, which is the state of Buddhahood. So this is how it works. So the here main point is the combining the wisdom and method practice together. So that's the main teaching on of the verse 42. So we talks about, in order to become Buddha, we need to accumulate, 3 countless eons merit, isn't it? That's our usual knowing. So the first countless eons merit you accumulate during part of merit, from the 5 part, first part, you finish them. Then the second great amounts of merit you accumulate within the 8 bhumis. Because from part of seeing onward during the part of meditation, there are 8 bhumis that you need to achieve. So up to 8 bhumi, you accomplish second amount of the great merit. From 8 to 9, 8 to 10, to the last moment of 10 bhumi, you accomplish the 3rd level of great amount of merit. So the moment that you accomplish the 3rd level of great amounts of merit is the same moment that you achieve, enlightenment or part of normal learning. So this is how it works. So now, as I mentioned before, there are 2 practitioners: those who go directly into Mayanic path or Bodhisattva's path, from path of accumulation onward. They need to purify the both defilement, the obscuration to nirvana, obscuration to omniscience. So for such practitioner, maybe you may also understand that I'm practitioner that who from very initial directly follow the Mayanic path. I didn't go through the hero and solitary realizers path. Some of you may claim that. And some of you may say, oh, I've been practicing Hinayana path long time, heroes or solitary realizers path long time. So I went through that path. Now, after some time, that I'm entering into the Mahayanic path. So there are two kind of categories. So if you are in the category of directly entering the Mahayanic path, then your main negation is the obscuration of omniscience. The delusional obscurations are by the way. So your focus is not the delusion. Your focus is actually obscuration of omniscience. So by negating or overcoming or purifying obscuration to omniscience along the bhumis, when you reach 8th bhumi, all the delusional obstacles which are supposed to be obscuration to nirvana naturally purified. So this is what the teaching talks about, like that. So, but then those who went through the Hinayana path, Hira and solitary realizers path, and later into Mahayanic path, the delusional obstacles are already purified before. You already achieved the nirvana, isn't it? So that means your sole focus is only obscuration of omniscience, throughout those 8 bhumis, or throughout those, the practice in the bhumis, And now obviously you can see those who went through the Hira and solitary realizers path, after they entering into the Mahayanic path, their journey will be quite fast, because the obscuration is much more lighter, because the delusional obstacle is already purified before, isn't it? So that's one thing. But then another thing is, another disadvantage is, if you go through the longer journey, you spend so much time in the Hira's path or solitary realized path. And especially there's a danger of residing in nirvana peace for eons. You see? So therefore, from the Mahayanic or Bodhisattva path, from the point of view of the Bodhisattva's path, you discourage for the practitioner to follow from the hero and solitary realizers path. It's encourage you to directly practice bodhicitta, directly practice emptiness and bodhicitta combined from very initial level. And the main thing is, once you arrive that the most blissful state of nirvana, you will forget about everybody. You will just enjoy there, so then most of the practitioners, they reside there for eons, you see. So therefore, in order for us to make that seriousness to understand, then from the Bodhisattva's point of view, say the nirvana is in fact is a negation. Nirvana is nothing to be admired. It's a negation. It has to be eliminated. It has to be purified. So in general understanding, if someone asks you a question, is nirvana negation or not? Of course not. But in relation to Mahayanic path, in relation to Bodhisattva path, is nirvana negation? Yes, it is negation. It is a purification object, like that. So anyway, yeah. So now verse 43. Wisdom without skillful means, and skillful means too without wisdom, are referred to as a bondage. Therefore, do not give up either. So that's very nice. So, bondage. Emptiness practice without bodhicitta practice, you carry still a bondage. Or bodhicitta practice without the emptiness wisdom practice, you still carry bondage. Means you still carry limitation. The bondage is, if you practice only emptiness, then you cannot achieve enlightenment without the bodhicitta. So that's the bondage. You see, you won't be able to be free from the obscurations of omniscience. That's the bondage. But if you practice only bodhicitta, but if you don't practice emptiness, you won't even able to purify the delusion. you may able to achieve, very altruistic path and altruistic realizations, but you won't able to purify the ignorant. You were not able to purify the root of attachment, the root of aversion, root of ego. Nothing would be able to purify it. You see, you may be able to purify self-cherishing attitude, but you won't be able to purify self-grasping ignorant. You see, and you may not even able to be free from samsara. You see, without the practice of emptiness, just practicing bodhicitta, you won't even able to overcome karma. You won't even able to overcome delusion. So that's the bondage. You see. So, so therefore, when you practice these two paths together, then you're able to overcome both obscuration, the entire limitations, and able to achieve entire, knowledge and entire cessations. So verse 44, to eliminate doubt concerning what is wisdom and what is skillful means, I shall make clear and different between skillful means and wisdom. So, Buddhist, in Buddhist teaching, there are four philosophical schools, which is main having those schools are, what do you say? The schools are divided into four categories is mainly because of the different assertion on emptiness view. Different assertion on emptiness view. So, and sometimes can be confusing which one is the real wisdom of emptiness. Which one is the ultimate. So, Atisha says, that need to be clarified. So, the verse 35, the answer to that, apart from the perfection of wisdom, all virtues, apart from the perfection of wisdom, all virtues practices such as the perfection of giving as described as a skillful means and victorious ones. Then not only that, there are many paths out there, and the paths are divided into two categories: method aspect of the path and wisdom aspect of the path. So sometimes can be very confusing, like such as the shamatha, karma avoiding. It sounds like wisdom, but in fact it is a method aspect of the path. So verse 45 is what it's saying. The Buddha have taught that from the six perfection, number 1 to number 5 are all method aspect of the path. The wisdom aspect path is only the last one, number 6. So the practice of bodhicitta, loving kindness, compassion, all as a method aspect of the path, and it is within the earlier 5, paramita practice. Or in another word, all the earlier 5 paramita practice are in the category of the bodhicitta practice or love and compassion practice. Like such as practice of generosity. Obviously, it is practice of love, compassion, bodhicitta, isn't it? Then the last one is the wisdom. So when it comes to wisdom, again, different philosophy schools, talks about the wisdom of selfless as a person. Some philosophers, they don't even name emptiness of phenomena. They only name as emptiness of person. Like from the 4 Buddhist philosophy school, number 1 is called the Vaibhasika, second one is called the Sautantika, third one is called Chittamatra, and then fourth one is called the Sautantika Madhyamaka, fourth one is called the Prasangika Madhyamaka. So such as the Vaibhasika, the first school, they don't even, have the label of, emptiness. They just label the selflessness of person, and that is very much, in fact, talking about emptiness, So then within the four philosophical school, all the school assert interdependent rising. And many of us, we were directly introduced the philosophy philosophical presentation on emptiness based on the Prasangika Madhyamaka school, the final school, like what the Nagarjuna practice, Nagarjuna assert, what the Chandrakirti assert, what Lama Tsongkhapa assert. The view on emptiness is very much in relation to the Prasangika Madhyamaka view, the final number 4, Mm. The number 4 also got the 2 sub-schools. The first one is what is it, what you call? Sautrantika Madhyamika. The second one is Prasangika Madhyamika. So the Prasangika Madhyamika, whenever you hear about Prasangika Madhyamika, you can refer to the emptiness understanding that one Nagarjuna practice. Or you can also understand as the final view or the final assertion on emptiness that Buddha carries. The Buddha's definite understanding of definite meaning of emptiness is in according with what interpreted by the Nagarjuna, like Chandrakirti, in the Prasangika Madhyamaka school, so like that. So, so the definition of emptiness that asserted by like Nagarjuna, or the intended view by the Buddha, the definition is interdependent arising. So the meaning of emptiness is interdependent arising. The meaning of interdependent arising is emptiness. See, so emptiness very much meaning lack of inherent existence. That phenomena, which is its nature, is a lack of inherent existence, means similar meaning like the ultimate nature of that phenomena is interdependent arising. The same meaning, and that goes the same meaning to lack of substantial existence. It's the same meaning. Lack of true existence, same meaning. Lack of dualistic existence, same meaning. Lack of independent existence, autonomic existence, permanent existence. All these meanings, a similar meaning to the emptiness or the lack of inherent existence or interdependent arising, that which establish the final view, Prasangika Madhyamika view. So therefore, all the 4 schools, they still pronounce the meaning of the emptiness they assert as a interdependent arising. So this interdependent arising are not interpreted according with the different assertion. It can confuse us. It can be quite confusing. But then you may ask question, then why you present so many schools? Why you don't go directly to the final one? Why make it so confusing? So the point is not to confuse us. The point is actually assist us to, understand gradually, from gross to the subtle, the knowing of what exactly lack of inherent existence means, or what really inherent existence means, what really substantial existence means, what really, self-grasping means, and that is helpful when you refer to the assertion of the 4 different philosophical schools. Let's say the emptiness that understand by the Vaibhasika school, the first school is like such as emptiness of person, like person or the I is empty of true, empty of permanent existence, I as being permanent. So that's quite easy to understand, isn't it? And I as empty of independent existence. So that also quite easy to understand, isn't it? I, self, dependent on cause and condition to actualize, isn't it? like without father, mother as a condition, I won't be here. So quite obvious, so it's not independently pop up. It's not like that. Then I is, yeah, so dependent on the cause. So autonomically, I is um, I lacking of autonomically existent. So that is very much like dependent on, part and particles, and dependent on, conditions, many different other factors, you see. Then, so that is the how, the Bible seeker would establish emptiness of person, and that is the meaning, what it means. I is interdependently existent, and therefore, I or the self is selfless, selfless of being autonomic existent, permanent existent, or independent existent, selfless of those. So what is the negation for this school? The negation is permanent existence, a negation. Autonomic existence is a negation. Independent existence is a negation. And that surpassed from other philosophical schools. Who are those other philosophical schools? So the earlier school in India, when Buddha came into existence, and those of the non-Buddhist, philosophical schools that exist in India, some of the philosophers, they assert I as a permanent. Like even today, there's emphasis of the Atma. Atma, in India, very obvious, Atma, the soul is permanent. You see? So and Atma is very much like giving example as a person. Some regard as a basis of the person. Some even regard who is the person, that Atma is the person. Your Atma is the person, isn't it? So, and that Atma is permanent, they're permanent, And there's also that time, and even today, there's a belief of self is created by, supreme or ultimate, Uh, uh, so there's one ultimate creator who create I, who create me. So then the wisdom that you understand that I is, exists interdependent on cause and condition, like father, mother, your past karma, your past continuum, then that ultimate one creator, kind of negates, logically negates. It's not just, it's my assertion, not just that, it's logically makes sense, isn't it? I mean, it almost, if there's an ultimate creator, then you don't have any authority to shape your life, isn't it? Then that means you don't have to do any job. Sometimes it's like quite surprising, It's everything is one ultimate created you. Then that means if the ultimate already created to have a food and shelter and medicine for you, then why you need to go and work for medicine? Work for collect resources for medicine, food, and shelter. You can just stay asleep, isn't it? Then we don't have to prepare anything. Just be like a rock there. And wherever ultimate want to be, for you to be, you will be there. Otherwise, like even you pursue also, you cannot be there, isn't it? So enlightenment. I mean, okay, don't talk about enlightenment. We just want to go to Nepal. Want to go to Kopan or want to go to climb Mount Everest. You need to collect money. You need to first have enough money to travel. You need to have an aeroplane there. I think walking from Santa Fe to Kathmandu, I think we won't able to reach forever. But if it is in one ultimate being's hand, and if you're supposed to be there, then that means like kind of like place here like that. You don't need anything, money or aeroplane or hotel arrangement. All this no need. So sometimes find very interesting. So smart people, unbelievable smart, create microchips on now even got like nano micro or something. But I don't know, micro is already so subtle, isn't it? Then nano it makes it more subtle. But then still like kind of like like completely like kind of the creator is out there. And it's quite interesting. Of course, there's another benefit of that belief when you go for refuge. When you are in the state of fear, then you submit yourself completely in the hands of one creator. That is very helpful. Honestly, that is very helpful. But then, other than that, there's so many happenings in our life. So many things that happen in our life, so many things that are going to happen in our life, completely kind of one ultimate creating, and that is quite difficult, isn't it? So anyway, don't go into that. So, oh yeah. So my point is like, so you see, so even the first school, the Bible Seeker school, already negate so many earlier the assertion of the self, the establishing of ultimate existence of self. So when it is helpful for us to release from many other way of understanding of the true nature of self. So then after that, then later, the Vaibhasika and Saudantikas are quite similar one. So then the next, slightly more advanced level of understanding of the negation is the dualistic existence. Dualistic existence. So the Chittamatran or the mind-only school, they call that. Their understanding of self is the self exists simply in the nature of your mind. The self does not exist independently from its own side, from physical level or substantial level. You see, so I is just manifestations of ripening of the imprint of the I, of the self. Even these different bases like aggregates and form, there's an imprint that we carry in our continuum. When that imprint ripened, and that object, appears. So it's very much usually the Buddhist way of, saying, all the time, everything is karma. The common Buddhist one thing they carry in their, in their speech is like good or bad or any whatever is like say it's karma. This is my karma. This is his karma. This is our karma. And in fact, this saying and understanding of the karma is very much similar to the way how Chittamatra would understand. Chittamatra, the third school, philosophy school, everything exists ripening of your mental imprint, and that mental imprint, in fact, we very much can refer to the karma. So karma is a mental imprint, and that mental imprint serve as the basis of actualizing all existence. That's true, but it's still the Chittamatra philosophical school of asserting existence like a self, both in relative existence and ultimate existence. still carry limitation because do not exist. But they still carry the limitation because the imprint, the mind, who carries the imprint, the imprint itself, and the mind that carry the imprint, assert as a true existence. Assert as a true existence means assert as an inherent existence, substantial existence. And for the later school, like a Prasangika Madhyamaka school or for Nagarjuna, then this asserting of true existence is not different than asserting dualistic existence. Even though you are negating dualistic existence, but in actual fact, you are asserting dualistic existence. Because the true existence is itself, is in the same understanding of substantial existence. So that means in the same understanding of dualistic existence. Again carries the form, but it's still helpful in the understanding of emptiness. It at least release the concrete grasping of the physical self-existent, self-existent in the physical phenomena, or independent existent in the physical, the tangible form. So the Chitta Matra, directly negate that, because there's no even a subtlest atom that exists physically, independently, it's on site. It's just simply imputation of the mind. And when we don't talk about the true existing false that Chitta Matra assert, then this simply imputation of exists in the manner of a simply imputation of the mind, similar like the Prasangika Madhyamaka would assert. Prasangika Madhyamaka or the Nagarjuna also emphasize, self and phenomena exist merely labeled by mind. Do not exist even in a substance, even in a substantial level from the object side or from the subject side. So now the difference between Chitta Matra and the Prasangika Madhyamaka school is the mind that makes about all the existence is whether that is in the nature of true existence or not. So that makes the differences, isn't it? Something like that. So then, but then when you go, stage by stage, the grasping become lighter and lighter. Of course, you need to, you have to think again and again to make sense to it. But you grasping become lighter and lighter. So now, when you reach to the final school, there's two sub school, the earliest Prasangika Madhyamaka school. Their plus is they do not assert true existence. So they are plus. They are better than Chitta Matra school and Prasangika school and Vaibhasika school because of they do not assert true existence. Remember the Chitta Matra school, they assert true existence, the mind and the mental imprint in the nature of true existence. But now the later school do not assert true existence, but still carry another fault is substantial existence, inherent existence. So that's the false. You see? So for Prasangika Madhyamaka, who is far more advanced than Chitta Matra, but they cannot establish existence without there's a substantial capability. Let's say this ding dong. If there's no substance, maybe atom from its own side, no way this can be actualized. It's quite true. It sounds like real, isn't it? Like if you don't have your unique potential or substance within your body, your body won't be able to be differentiated from other bodies, isn't it? There should be something, isn't it? Some kind of maybe gene or some kind of maybe atom, cell, that has to be uniqueness to me from yours. That's why we can differentiate. We all carry different body. You see, so this particular school, if there's no uniqueness, there's no substantial potential in it is each existent, then the existent won't be able to establish. Not only on the form, but let's say if you can't assert or if you can't find special or specific substantial potential on the object, but you at least need to find that special potential in your mind. The mind that imputes the object. So mind that imputes this object, maybe you can't find any substance in it, any potential in it to actualize this. But at least the mind that who is imputing this existence in the mind has to have its own special substance or special, potential, that will able to impute this, and that is called the substantialism or the substantial existence. And this now for the Nagarjuna or for the Prasangika Madhyamaka school, substantial existence is same meaning as a true existence. So even though you negate true existence, but you still assert substantial existence, that means you're confused. You're totally confused, so actually, the Nagarjuna would say to Asanga, who is one of the main master that assert Chittamadani school, you claim you as a Madhyamika, but then assert true existence. That's the more disaster than the earlier school, like a Vaivasika, This is more disaster, And there's some more you better don't claim you are Madhyamika, and you just falls down. So anyway, this is their own debate. So now so you see, so for Nagarjuna, for Prasangika Madhyamaka school, substantial existence, true existence, inherent existence is the same. So therefore, now comes to the point, what is the most subtle negation now? You see, because from all the Buddhist philosophers school, they presented their own flaws, they presented their own wisdom, they presented their own negations. Once you glance through this, now you come to a point, what is the most subtle negation? What is the most subtle obstacle here in order to realize the real meaning of interdependent arising or real meaning of emptiness? So the subtle negation is inherent existence. And again, as I mentioned at the beginning, the negation has two layers. A conceptually established ignorant, which is the grasping of inherent existence. This is conceptually established negation or conceptually formed ignorant. And this conceptually formed ignorant established on the innate born ignorant. That is the subtle negation. Innate ignorant. See? So because of having innate ignorant, or because of having innate delusion, innate dualistic mind, innate inherent mind, that's why our concept, our thinking, our usual thinking, when we communicate with its object, we perceive in the nature of inherent existence, and we claim as an inherent existence. We understand as an inherent existence. You see, so therefore, the root cause of all the delusion, including this conceptually established ignorance, is the innate ignorance. So now, in order to clear the innate ignorance, there's no other tools to clear the innate ignorance except you actualize the opposite, 100% opposite mind, which is the wisdom. Wisdom directly seeing lacking of inherent existence. Wisdom directly seeing lacking of inherent existence, or wisdom directly seeing, interdependent arising, or wisdom directly seeing, lack of substantial existence. And the way how that wisdom perceive the object is very much very much like space-like. When our mind look in the space, it's like completely empty, isn't it? Like empty of its direction. Like especially maybe in Santa Fe got quite a lot of mountain. In some part of Australia, especially in Western Australia, when we look up the sky, it's like infinite. Just look directly up. Over there is like, even you look at this side also, like there's no end. No end. It's like it's so vast. But here, at least, if you do like that, then the mountain there. So don't go too down. So maybe just go straight, look up, and just kind of completely kind of dissolve into that emptiness, that is that empty space. And, and you try to understand, and you try to apprehend that experience is very much like completely loose or lack of any object to be grasped as a direction, or any substance to be kind of like a grass, or this is something, I'm talking about complete sky. Even there's no stars. Otherwise, you may say there's something to grasp. There's a star. So you see, so you will come to like point like losing all the object of grasping, and complete voidness is up there. Complete void of all, all void of any object of uh, any object like grasping, whatever way, aversion, grasping, or grasping of differentiations, like directions. This is south, this is east. Grasping of liking. This is good, this is beautiful, this is ugly, but not like that. It's completely empty. You see. So, so now when you see the wisdom that directly antidoting, or wisdom that experiencing the cessation, not necessarily complete cessation, but even while training, like experience of the cessation of emptiness of self, like completely losing entirety of the object to be grasped. Like you see complete void. Exist but do not exist. Exist I, but at the same time do not exist. Exist merely in the name, but do not exist. To be established, it is existing on certain concrete substance, certain concrete, certain concrete substance, a substantial characteristic. You see. So, we call Zindang Mungal, means like direct, like complete opposite from the way how we perceive ourselves, how we perceive the phenomena. And a complete opposite wisdom has to be actualized. Right? So, the way to reach there is by purifying the conceptually established ignorance and conceptually actualized wisdom of emptiness, like very much like using the analytical process, analytical meditation, like such as I is not within the aggregates of form, aggregates of the mind, feeling, conversation factor. I is not without. I is not on the table. I is not in this direction, that direction, out there in you. I is not one of them. I is not all of them. You see, I is not the consciousness. You see, I is not the virtuous consciousness, virtuous mind or the negative mind or the neutral mind. Otherwise, I become three eyes, isn't it? So if eye is on the physical body, then certain part of physical body you just put aside. Then you know how to establish the eye. You know, we have a lot of like operations can happen, isn't it? Heart transplant, kidney transplant. Then when the kidney is taken away, then how about the eye? You see, so there's no possible, you know, even one single substance is a potential, or it is potency to actualize. Is there any word called potency in English? Oh, okay, then maybe because sometimes my dictionary is not really correct one. so like that. So you see, so now you see, so now one of the another way to you know to reach to the wisdom of emptiness is very much like like you want to reach to the core of the onion, the core of the onion. So mm, so but you don't have like a sharp knife, directly like cut half and see, not like that. The only things you have your two hands and very tough onion there, big onion. So, but you want to know exactly the core, the central one. So you peel the skin one by one, isn't it? After peeling one by one, you reach to the very central one. And even you completely, like kind of like a tear completely in all direction, what you find is just the emptiness of the onion in the center. You can't find onion at all, isn't it? But then that like kind of like completely smashed or completely chopped kind of onion, like peel, you file back, put back all together. Oh, this onion is still here, you know, you see. So so very much you peel the negation, like such as the Vivasika established. First you peel the you see the Vivasika school, the fourth school, Vivasika, like permanent, independent, autonomic existence. So it's like first you peel the skin of the permanent existence out, then independent existence, autonomic existence out. Then after that, then the Chitta Matarans, the negation, the dualistic existence out. Then the Sautrantika Madhyamaka, the substantial existence out. The moment substantial existence is all peeled out, is very much you arrive right at the center, right at the center of the onion. The completely, right in the middle. You find wherever you are investigating that is on the self, then you find the self is just simply non-existent, at all, even in the substantial level. And that is the empty of self, empty, the losing of the existence, losing of the substantial existence of self. That's the empty. Now emptiness, the nest is like you actualize. You actualize the existence. You see, you establish now empty to emptiness. It's not completely lost, but then you see, on the basis of all these five aggregates and the name that you already carry, all put together, like Tenzin Zopa really exists, legitimately exists. You see, so therefore, is it like Tenzin Zopa exists, but at the same time do not exist. Tenzin Zopa do not exist substantially, but exist interdependently, interdependent on so many, factors. So that's why it is come to understanding the meaning of emptiness of Tenzin Zopa is interdependent rising, interdependently established Tenzin Zopa. The meaning of interdependently, label Tenzin Zopa is nothing more than empty of, completely lacking of inherent existence or substantial existence. You see, so so very much. Now we may think, what's the big deal with this? It's empty, interdependent. It just sounds like, like playing chess, or I don't know, jigsaw puzzle. What is this? The main point is to eradicate the innate ignorance. Main point, in order to arrive to wisdom that which directly can able to eliminate the darkness of innate ignorance. Main point is for that, and only this way you will arrive there. There's no other way. The point is no other way. The computer will not make us to arrive there. The tech company will not build any device in the universe in ever time to arrive to that wisdom. The fact is, so only this way, you will arrive to a wisdom of emptiness, which is directly, able to negate the innate ignorance. Then we say, okay, innate ignorance, what's the big deal with that? The big deal is innate ignorance is the main reason all the rest of the delusion, like such as the 6 root delusions, comes out in our way. And we know the delusions are very obstructive. Delusions are the troublemaker. We all know. Attachment grasping is not nice. Anger is absolutely not nice. And ego is not nice. Jealousy is very painful. And all these different type of delusion, if you go even more detail, then 3 root poison delusions, 6 root delusions, 20 secondary delusions, then the 84,000 delusions, then the sub-millions and millions of numberless delusions out there. So all this exists within our system because of the innate ignorance. You see, and these delusions are the one make us commit karma. The karma is the one make us suffer in samsara. You see, karmic imprint we talk about is the one that, to actualize this samsara. Samsara means suffering, pervasive compounded suffering, suffering of change, suffering of pain. All this because of the delusion. You see, because of the karma. And karma is because of delusion. Delusion is because of the root delusion. And root delusion is the most root delusion, which is the innate ignorant. You see, so because of that, emptiness is the most important. Without actualizing wisdom, emptiness, we won't be free from samsara. We won't be free from unhappiness. We won't be free from this quite a problematic, troublesome journey of life, isn't it? To do with our emotion, to do with our physical body. We really, even as a human being, we have this human intelligence. We have so many talent. Like just think about the medicine that human developed. Just think about those, what do you call it, AI or whatever. This and there's so many missions, you develop to assist us, but then somehow no one can stop aging. No one can stop getting sick. No one, can stop dying. You see, no one can stop like our emotion going like a stock market, isn't it? And up to now, no one able to do that, and I think no one able to establish externally to fix this problem of ignorance, except our own inner wisdom. You see, so but then from the other angle, Shakyamuni Buddha is very obvious example. Even in our time, the living people, like you can say Dalai Lama, I mean, he's one of the most peaceful person. Even though he go through the same process of our human, human journey of life, like like getting old, getting sick. But it's so obvious that he is fully intact with no disturbances from that, in a full inner peace, completeness of the peace, confident. You see, there's no fluctuating his emotion, like what I do. You see, then like our guru, most of you know, maybe all of you know, Lama Sobrabhache, for his 70 years of life. You see, um, even at the last very moment, it's like completely live in the bursting of smile, bursting of laughter, and joy. You know, uh, and like Lama Sobrabhache, we know that physically, since he have human body, he has all the inconvenience that many people has. He got stroke. He got this and that inconvenience, but never affected by that inconvenience. Maybe in my case, my body is intact so far, but my mind is terrible. Why? For these people, these practitioners, because have the wisdom of emptiness. Because the problem in me is because I don't have wisdom of emptiness. Can imagine those who make these unbelievable technologies, maybe their life is much more stressful than many of our life. Much more emotional crisis. I'm sorry to say that, but possible. I'm not 100%. Maybe they may be Bodhisattvas. I don't know Buddhas, but you see. So that's the reason. That's the whole big deal about wisdom of emptiness, realizing wisdom of emptiness. Otherwise, uh, maybe compassion sounds much better. Love sounds much better. When talk about emptiness, wisdom is like kind of, it doesn't really need it. So that's so like that. Mhm. So verse 46. So whoever under the influence of familiarity with the skillful means cultivate wisdom with quickly attain enlightenment, not just by meditating on selflessness. So with these two combined together. Mhm. So understanding emptiness, verse 47, understanding emptiness of inherent existence through realizing that the aggregates, constituents, and source are not produced is described as a wisdom. You see, so how to develop the wisdom of emptiness? I think in the first session I mentioned about there's one thing that we are lacking is, exercising our mind, our perception in the knowledge of emptiness. Uh, we usually just exercise the emptiness of a person, self, or emptiness of form, but we don't really exercise that with other objects. So, so by here, even in the Heart Sutra and Dhammapada Sutra and all the Wisdom Sutra, talks about emptiness of person, emptiness of, 5 aggregates, then, 12 constituents, you know, you know, 18 different kind of phenomena, all phenomena. So those are few examples only, so we need to exercise our mind, uh, you know, dreams like, illusion alike, uh, understanding in all the object that comes in our senses. Whatever we see, we try to understand, or we try to view them as a dream like, illusion alike, then we try to view them in the existence of interdependent arising. You see, so then whenever we get little quiet time, free time, then also need to exercise doing the absorption meditation, like a space, like completely void, empty, of losing entire object of grasping, entire subject of grasping, very much like arriving to a point that you're able to overcome entire conception, like you're able to reach beyond conception, beyond conception. So when you arrive beyond conception is very much like arriving at the state of nirvana. complete totality of peace, which is the experience that you experience of releasing from all the bondage of graspings. Even though your delusions are not purified yet, but you experience like you reach the stage, entire delusion is overcome. You see, so that's the state of like a space-like meditation. You see, so we need to exercise repeatedly, again and again, again and again. And during the post observation meditation, which is our day-to-day life, day-to-day busy life, when you go to job, when people go to sleep, eating, doing any activity, try to like, try to make in our first glance, our first perception, seeing them as interdependent arising, or seeing them as an illusional dream, like that. So maybe so that is the meaning of wisdom. And when you develop gradually, that into our system and arise such a wisdom without any effort, then it become without effort, and also free of conception, then it's a direct realization of emptiness. Okay, so I stop here. I think I take some of your extra time. Sorry for that. Yeah, so then we dedicate the merit, like how the Bodhisattva Samantabhadra, Bodhisattva Cheney say, and Lama Subramanian say, how they dedicate the merit, we too dedicate just like that. Yeah, so then hope we can discuss more further detail on the retreat. I think we have 2 days of retreat, isn't it? Maybe about altogether about 4 more sessions like that. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.